morning and hello, I'm Professor Code and this is the Forex Supermodel Racing Review and Forex Briefing for Thursday the 5th of January 2023. Yesterday we had no bets, so there's nothing to review for yesterday, but we do have a race today, and that's at Wolverhampton on the weather at 145. It's a novice stakes class 5, 3-year-old plus 5 furlong 21 yards, model 97. We'll talk about that in a minute, right? So there's 4 in the race. There's a heavily odds-on favourite, which is this number 2 Sergeant Pep, which is 1 to 5. It's had 2 runs at Wolverhampton 6 furlongs, and Wolverhampton 6 furlongs. I'll just grab this. Wolverhampton 6 furlongs is model 93, so that's 93, which is a fair bit slower than the 5. And interestingly, if you look at the replays of Sergeant Pep, you'll see that it basically starts to hang, which means it's sort of like it starts to sort of be awkward, and its head goes to one side, and it's not actually accelerating, it's treading water at about the 5 furlong mark. Now that, and then it goes on to run on the further furlong and win or come second in the previous race at 6 furlongs. So that suggests we can take it on. So we're going to do that. So we get rid of that. That leaves us with the other 3, which is you've got this big odds horse here, Holly Blackmore, number 3, 66 to 1. We've actually got £1 per £8 unit, so £100 on it, 69 to 1, so only 70 to 1. Right, what do we think about that then? So it ran at Newcastle 6, which is model 98, which is quick, and it ran at Newcastle 5, which is model 99, which is even quicker. So and it was strangled in this first race. Basically, it means it was pulling for its head, and the jockey just choked it off and burnt the juice, and it didn't really perform to its maximum. So it has a chance. Obviously, it's big odds, and there's only 4 in the race, so you can't really leave it out. So we've put that into the mix. So that's that one. The other 2, number 1, which is Genghis, or My Genghis, and number 4, Keep It Hush. Well, My Genghis, the key race is Chepstow 5 furlongs, which is modelled 100. That was soft. That's on the flat, obviously. It's one of the fastest 5 furlongs around, and it's got pace, that horse. It's got potential. So My Genghis is no forlorn hope, and we've got £1.50 per £8 unit, so 150 on it, 9.5 to 1, 19 to 2 in odds. And this other one, Keep It Hush, which has been running at Newcastle over 5, model 99, again quicker, and likewise we've got £1.50 per £8 unit on it. 9.5 to 1 again. So we've got 2 lots of 150 in £1, which gives us £4 of an £8 unit. So it's 0.5 exposure. Multiply for 100 for us. So we've got £400 on at various odds against this odds-on horse. Was it Sergeant Pep? So that's what we're doing there. Now on the Forex front, it was pretty interesting yesterday. We suggested that there would be a little window between this, like 1500, which was what was it? It was the ISM manufacturing PMI purchasing managers index, which is an inflation measure, and then you had this this big event 1900. You had the FOMC minutes. Now we had a go at that on the AUD USD. Remember, we said look for currency pairs that have been really bid up and extended, or really compressed down. Now, if you look at the 10-minute graph yesterday, and I strongly recommend you do this. You look at the 10-minute graph for the 4th of the first 23, and you scroll it back so that you're on the 4th. And this is the 10-minute graph. Remember, you'll see that there was some very interesting price action early on. So you get this green institutional buying from about midnight onwards to about 2:20 in the morning. And how do we know it's institutional buying? It's very precise. It's very controlled. There's no pullbacks, and you get this like rise here up to about 2:20 with no resistance. Nobody messing them about. They're just punching away, pumping the market in packets of purchases. Now, what happens after that? Well, it goes sideways, and then you get this like spike, and it starts to get more volatile and ugly, but it carries on going up. And this is where the retail traders are sort of getting involved after around this mark here. Now, so you've got the institutional buyers pumping the AUD dollar up, and then you get this period of dirge, and then you get this start of volatility, and then you get these larger, more volatile ups and downs as it rises up. And then at about you then get this sort of consolidation at the top. So that's what we were looking for, and we put a sell order in on the AUD USD just prior to the 1500. We've got soft ISM data, so soft American data. So in theory, that should have pushed the AUD higher, but we actually got our order filled off this soft data, and then it reversed out. So we got out of it at about minus 4.1 pips. So it took a very small loss on that. We had a 25 pip stop on it anyway. So we've ended up losing 4.1 pips, and then we observed the market. And bear in mind, you're in this zone here. You're in this window between of no data before this FOMC, and it became very clear that the market was softening up, and it wasn't going to go forward. And what's likely to happen is the retail traders will ditch. Because they don't want to be holding long positions in that data risk environment, and so we put another sell order in a bit higher, and we got that filled, and we ended up with about I don't know, 28 pips profit. Nothing great, but it was doable, and you could see you had very good control and risk return. So we ended up with about 24 pips profit using that approach. So that's where we are there. So and now today you've got a similar window. You've got 1315 ADP report, which is the employment report, and you've got 1445, which is tier 2 US data. So you can use a similar approach today. Not necessarily with the AUD USD. It's whatever up for grabs, but that gives you a heads up on that. So hopefully that will help you out, and we'll talk about that another time if you're more interested. So leave some comments if you wish. So that's where we are then. So taking on this short price favourite in Wolverhampton 145, and we've talked about the Forex situation there. So anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and goodbye.